Today on the show, we're going to talk about the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro, and we're going to ask, is it worth the squeeze to get this one? Because, well, we have initial pricing of it. It's not on Toyota's website just yet, but we're going to go through some of the features and how I think it's going to stack up price-wise. But I want to get into this truck just a little bit because this thing is either people love it or hate it, which is very unusual for Toyota. The Toyota brand is always middle ground. They don't like to piss anybody off. They don't want to disappoint. They just want to be known for quality. And, well, that equals a lot of sales. The volume of the truck, the amount of they sell of this truck is incredible, man. Over 200,000 plus a year in this thing, and no one comes close to it in the midsize segment here in the United States. I mean, at all. But there's always been a lot of value with the Toyota brand, whether it be pricing or features that you get. And they're trendsetters. They bring a lot of car control features out first. They were first to do a lot of these things. And, well, GM, Ford, and everybody's kind of had to catch up with them a little bit. But guess what? They're catching up. And as you might know, I have a new 2024 Ford Ranger Raptor, and that thing is stacked full of off-road goodies, front and rear lockers, something Toyota doesn't offer even in their highest trim. A lot of crawl control features, just like the big boys do. And guess what? My truck booked out fully loaded, $58K, where the Tacoma is going to be a little more expensive. So I wanted to go through Toyota's website here real quick, and this is just their base website. Once again, they do not have, it says they have their build and price up, but they don't. It's not active just yet, which is unusual to me because we've already gotten the press sheets on this thing. I have a great idea what this thing's going to cost, but I want to go through their website real quick and just kind of, show you a little bit. Be dareful out there. Be dareful out there. What a strange thing, but it is a good looking truck. Once again, the Pro version, which I would love to have in our driveway as a long-term tester, but that is a good looking truck, and I like they've got some really great colors with it. The whites, the grays, and of course with the Trailhunter you get that cool kind of bronze color, which is really bitchin'. I love that color. But colors are one thing. It's all about the features that you get. And of course, here is the specs. You're going to get 326 horsepower. You're going to get 465 foot-pounds of torque, which will be class leading once this truck is actually on the streets. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is class leading, and in off-road situations, torque means more than horsepower. Even though I like a lot of horsepower, and my new Ranger Raptor has a lot of torque and horsepower, it's not going to come close to this because this is now an EV sort of platform. It's a hybrid platform. So the way Toyota does it is they take the EV, and it's more about horsepower. It's about getting that little turbocharged four-cylinder and then adding an electric motor to that to really high output to the rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive system. And it's about giving you the most power. Basically, it's almost like having a little V8 in this truck, which is pretty cool, even though when you hear the four-cylinder, outside the cab, you might be like, it's still a four-cylinder. But the estimated highway mileage on this thing, 21, 26, which I'll believe that when I actually get to test that one myself. But, Toyota's finally, you're getting the 8-speed transmission in this thing, which a lot of people had begged for a long time in the previous generation. And you get some bed options. The Trailhunter can get a 6-foot bed. So any overlanders out there, well, that is pretty rad that you're going to do that. And max towing 6,500 pounds, which is honestly, that's not that good. And the payload is not that good as well. But once again, you see them doing off-road things here. But I want to get kind of down to this. Clearly, the TRD Pro, they're setting the tone early. We want this thing to be, we kind of wanted to take on the Raptor. We wanted to do more of that. Let's let the Trailhunter be kind of its own off-road segment now, which I like. And here is that little four-cylinder motor, once again, making 326 horsepower and 465 foot-pound of torque. I'd like to see the horsepower a little bit higher, but that torque numbers are through the roof, and it's going to take Ford, Chevrolet, they're going to have to come up with a hybrid system to compete with this, especially if they see sales going on this thing. Of course, Trailhunter, clearly it's marked to do these things right here. And tear this thing apart, look at it. That is, I like the battery pack. Now, the battery pack being under the passenger seat is going to cause a lot of people to be upset. There's no storage room there, and trucks storage is key. Like, it's a commodity that you just don't come across. You need all the storage you can get. So, no under seat storage there, but I'm sure Toyota's figured out a way to compensate with that. Now, as far as the trims of these things, once again, TRD Pro is the king. That's the cat's meow. That's where everybody wants to be. As you can see, the pricing is coming soon for Trailhunter, and limited 52, but it's going to be coming soon for the hybrid version. But our friends over at Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, they were at the press launch of this thing, and I'm very jealous of what they got to do, Tim and Jill over there. But they, let's see, they've got some pricing up for this thing. So one of the big downsides, they say, of the Trailhunter and TRD is payload. Both only get around a measly 1,200 pounds of payload. That's ridiculous. And remember, payload includes your passengers. So that's not just what's in the back of the truck. And the other downside, they said, was the Trailhunter starts at $62,500 and the TRD Pro starts at $65,000. Now, I do expect these trucks to be very limited options, so I think pricing wise of those, they're about capped out where they're going to be. Now, the Toyota dealerships are going to get their hands on this thing and ruin it for everybody. So that $65,000 for the TRD Pro is probably going to at minimum be a $5K, what they don't even put MSRP on their trucks anymore. They just call it RSP because they know what their dealers are doing. And I, for one, it pisses me off, but there's nothing you can do about it. Manufacturers sell these vehicles to dealerships, and they're the dealership's vehicles. So I know a lot of people always get upset by, hey, why don't they step in? And they can somewhat. They can ding them for allocations. But past that, dealers are able to do what they want. And at $65,000, basically $70,000, then you add on another $3,000 to $4,000 in taxes. I don't know if this thing is much value. And that's where the fan base is going to have to really decide. And they're going to have to really prove to Toyota that, hey, if it's too expensive, don't buy it. Look at other brands. There's so many other brands out there. And I, for one, I think Ford has a great option. I think the GM Twins, both of those are great options, even though horsepower-wise, they're not even close to these two trucks, the Ford Ranger and the Tacoma. I'd like to see Chevrolet. They're going to have to do some kind of a hybrid system to catch up. And please do not, I repeat, please do not do a plug-in hybrid system because that's just, no. Truck people want, they want to be able to drive without having to unplug their vehicle all the time. And Jeep, they're not doing very well with the 4xEs right now, so that kind of proves it. So in the comments below, let me know where you at. What do you think of these prices? Are they ridiculous? Because, yes, I do think they're ridiculous, and I almost did a WTF on this because I think Toyota's just raised the bar so far that guess what's going to happen? GM and everybody's going to take a look at these prices, and they're going to slowly creep those up. So you know what to do. Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass Toyotas, I'm going to drive. This has been your All-Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, and we're out. Peace, everybody. Love y'all. Y'all just wait till you see the 4Runner pricing. You're going to flip out.